Do you think it takes a magic spell to make great cocktails that look amazing? Well, I'm Harry Potter, and I'm here to show you how you can turn these spiritus apirus, simple cocktail ingredients, cocktailus makus, into these magical cocktails inspired by wizardry, witchcraft, and magic. So now it is time to shake things up. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Harry Potter. And today on Shaking Things Up with Harry Potter, we're going to be making magical cocktails inspired by wizardry, witchcraft, and magic in pop culture, movies, and music. Some people think mixology is like casting a magic spell. But in reality, the result is something magical, but it doesn't take superhuman powers or a wand to achieve. So today, I, Harry Potter...
Mark, you don't look anything like Harry Potter.
What? Really? I thought if I just kept saying it enough times, it'd come true. Well, I guess with this shaggy hairdo, I kind of look like Justin Bieber.
You don't look like him either.
Well, I certainly do look like my 22-year-old self. Look at him. Oh, I was so cute. What happened? Today, I'll be making 3 magic cocktails in Cocktail Chameleon, all inspired by magic, but I promise there are no magic tricks needed. To prove it, look, there's nothing up my sleeve. Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, it's our 100% silk men's pocket square. Ideal gift for the cocktail lover in your life, exclusively available on cocktailchameleon.com. So to prove it, there's, nothing up this sleeve either? Oh wait, it's our ladies 100% Twilly scarf. Also available on our website and an ideal gift for the host that wants to host in style. Here, Mary, this one's for you. So let's get back to cocktails. I know, finally. Today I'm going to be making 3 of my magical cocktails in Cocktail Chameleon, starting with the Poison Apple Martini, which is inspired by the evil witch in Snow White. And we have my Old Black Magic Old Fashioned, inspired by that wicked witchcraft in the classic song, That Old Black Magic. And Witch's Brew, which is inspired by everyone's favorite witch grandma, Grandmama Addams from the Addams Family. The Poison Apple Martini is inspired by the classic story Snow White, who takes a bite out of a poison apple and falls into a deep slumber. Now to start, we're going to prepare our glass, and we're going to be using a chalice style glass. I love this because it just reminds me of the classic story, and it's just a beautiful classic shape. So we're going to create a decorative rim. Now to do that, we're going to use some light corn syrup and some colored sanding sugar, which is like a decorating cake sugar. To prepare our glass, we're going to simply take the rim of the glass and roll it in our syrup, which is really acting like a sugar glue. And I like to do just a half of the rim, so the other half is open in case someone doesn't want to have any sugar. And then next we're going to roll that sugar-coated rim in the red sugar crystals for a gorgeous, oh, look how beautiful that looks, a stunning red sugar crystal rim glass. So in our Boston shaker, which today we're going to be using our Cocktail Chameleon Boston shaker set, we are going to add about 3/4 of ice. And to that, we're going to put our apple brandy. So we're using a nice local Vermont apple brandy, and we're going to put 2 ounces in our mixing glass with ice. And then we're adding 2 ounces of an apple juice. And this is a store-bought juice. It is Martinelli's to be exact. I like apple juice over apple cider because we're wanting to create a really beautiful, clear, translucent cocktail. So if you used apple cider, it would really cloud up the drink too much. Next, we're gonna add 2 ounces of an apple pie spiced simple syrup. And this is my homemade apple pie spiced simple syrup that we made on a recent episode of Bar Basics Simple Syrups. And you can check out that link below, or I'll put the card in right up there so you can watch the video. But watch this video first and then watch that one. And then we're gonna give this a good shake. So we're gonna put the contents of our mixing glass into our mixing tin and just give a little tap and give it a good shake. And we're gonna shake this until it's very, very cold to the touch because this is a cocktail that's served straight up and therefore will not have ice, so we want it to be really, really, really cold. Good, I think that should do. Give it a little bit of a tap, and then we're gonna pour the contents of the mixing tin back into our mixing glass because that's the fun of making cocktails. We get to see all the beautiful colors that we're creating. And then we're going to strain it into our cocktail glass. And of course we have to use a cocktail napkin. It is not only tradition, but it also helps keep your bar nice and clean and safe from all the liquids. And then we're gonna pour the contents of our mixing glass into our prepared goblet. Look how gorgeous that looks. Now we're not quite finished yet because we have to add our secret potion ingredient. This is the sleeping potion that put our Snow White to sleep, and all it is simply some grenadine in a really cute bottle and an eyedropper to create a magical component potion in your glass. Look how stunning that is. So here we have the Poison Apple Martini. One sip of this delicious potion and you will be under a euphoric, youthful spell. And served with adorable little candied apples on the side, your guests will definitely be under your spell at your next magical gathering. The Old Black Magic Old Fashioned is strong, dark, and rich, which is the perfect recipe for a mate as well as this sultry cocktail. And it's made with my homemade spiced rum. Now, we recently made this rum on an episode of Bar Basics on home infused spirits, which you can check out with the links below, and I'll also put a card right up there. My home infused spiced rum has a nice sultry smoky flavor of molasses, vanilla, and other dried spices that's absolutely perfect for this cocktail. We're gonna be building the Old Black Magic in a mixing glass, and we're using our Cocktail Chameleon mixing glasses. And to start, we're gonna take about a 2-inch section of vanilla bean that has been split, and we're going to scrape out the seeds onto this little cutting board because we want to get all that delicious vanilla essence out. And then we're going to take the vanilla bean and put it into our mixing glass. And to that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of dark brown sugar and about a teaspoon of water and 3 dashes of chocolate bitters. We're gonna give that a good stir just so that we can combine all the ingredients, the sugar, the water, the vanilla bean, and the bitters, just so that the sugar is dissolved. And then we're gonna add 2 ounces of our dark spiced rum. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of ice and give it a good stir. And we're gonna stir this just to combine the ingredients and slightly chill it because we are gonna serve it over ice. That should be good. So here we have our glass, which is a fun martini style glass, and we have an ice sphere in it. And these are great little ice spheres that you can make in a specialty ice mold. And we're gonna put the links for those products down below so you can pick one up, as well as all of the recipes. So definitely go down there and check it out. So now we're gonna strain the contents of our mixing glass over our ice sphere. We're gonna slowly pour it so it doesn't splash around. I love this effect. It looks like a full moon rising in your glass. It's really such a cool effect. To garnish, we're going to take another vanilla bean section, and I love this piece of vanilla bean because it has a little bit of hook on the end that kind of looks like a staff of sorts. And then we're gonna take a homemade brandy cherries, and this is a recipe of brandy cherries that we have in Cocktail Chameleon, and we're gonna be doing an episode on garnishes on Bar Basics, so stay tuned for that. And then we're gonna simply rest it right on the edge of the glass. And here we have the Old Black Magic Old Fashioned. And one sip of this will definitely have you in its spell. Witch's Brew is a cocktail that I created for the opening of the Broadway musical, The Addams Family, and it's inspired by its matriarch, Grandmama Addams. Now, she practices her potions and her spells, but her magic is a little bit rusty. In contrast, this recipe is pure magic. We're gonna be making our recipe in a French press that serves 4 people, but you can also scale this recipe up and make it in a saucepan on the stove. In my French press, I already have 2.5 ounces of ground coffee, and I like to use a ground espresso coffee by Illy. It has a nice, rich, and robust flavor that's gonna hold up to all of our spices. And to that, I'm gonna add my spices, which are juniper berries, cinnamon, vanilla, cloves, and a pinch of nutmeg. To that, I'm gonna add 3 cups of boiling hot water. We'll put the top onto the French press and set it aside for about 5 minutes so the coffee can steep. While our coffee is steeping, we're gonna prepare our glass. And by prepare our glass, I mean we're gonna add booze to our glass, because this is a cocktail after all. So we're gonna take 1 ounce of a good quality cognac, which is a brandy, so you can use whatever flavor brandy you'd like. And we're also gonna add 1 ounce of an orange liqueur. Now, after about 5 minutes, you want to plunge the French press, which compresses the coffee and the spices down to the bottom. And we are going to add 5 ounces of this delicious spiced coffee into our waiting snifter. Oh, I can smell the aromas of the cognac and the spices just wafting up. Now, to garnish, we're going to take a whipped cream dispenser, and we're going to put just a little dollop of whipped cream to float it over the top of our spiced coffee. Okay, a little bit more than a little. That looks perfect. I like a little cream in my coffee. And then to finish it off, we're going to add a cinnamon stick into the whipped cream and garnish it with a few spoonfuls of a chopped chocolate-covered espresso beans. Here is the Witch's Brew, which is a magical cocktail that would make Grandmama proud. Here we have our 3 magical cocktails inspired by wizardry, witchcraft, and magic. Mix these up for your friends at your next magical gathering, and they'll definitely be under your spell. Thanks so much for joining me. If you like this video, leave me a comment down there and hit that subscribe button. Oh, here's what's next.